Hi, everybody, and welcome yet to another edition of Off the Record. I'm Ambareesh Baliga. Here we chit chat with the founders and management of companies which are listed or in the process of getting listed to understand the company and, more importantly, understand their thought process in managing the company. For this episode, I would like to welcome Mr. Harish Dachepalli, who is from the promoter family of Dachepalli Publishers Limited, a company which finds its roots more than a century back as a retail outlet for textbooks and magazines. Harish takes care of operations and sales and marketing. Today, they partner with schools across India, ranging in size from 100 to 50,000 students each, offering a full academic support system that includes curriculum aligned digital tools like instructional videos and test generators. So it's a complete solution and not just textbooks. They are headquartered in Hyderabad, but have their network across India, including the Northeast, except North India. And they have about 350 distributors across. So my first question to you, Harish, would be why nothing in North India?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us today. No, it's not why not India. It's we are going to be a national player very soon. The thing is, since we originate from the south, so we were capturing state by state with the amount of growth or turnover or revenue we were doing year on year. So it was like a step by step. To reach the north states, it would have taken a longer step. But thankfully, because of the IPO now, in the next 2 to 3 years, we wanted to be a pan India player by
Okay.
operating in all the 28 states and 8 union territories of the country.
So, I mean, what could maybe your first stop in North India? Delhi NCR? I think that's the major location, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for publishers, yes, Delhi is the major location because most of the publishers are coming from Delhi. But I want to tap Delhi for the last. I want to cover the rest of the country and then come to Delhi because Delhi is also the highest competitive place for
Right.
publishers.
That's true. Yeah. Fine. So if I understand it right, your product portfolio is right from play school to class 10,
Yes.
not even class 12.
No.
Whereas generally everyone wants to be in that K-12 space, which includes 11 and 12. So just to check, I mean, are you planning to expand to class 12 and possibly professional courses, competitive exams, or you are
No, sir.
happy to be in the space where you are right now?
I'm very happy to be in the space where I am, and my market share is less than 2%. There's a huge potential in this market, and I
Right.
don't want to get into 11th and 12th also because schools don't teach 11th and 12th. So 11th and 12th comes outside school. So
Okay.
I'm just happy to be in my space. So I want to be a K10 player in fact.
Okay. Okay. Because I mean, that's where your relationships are and that's where
Yes.
your expertise is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, see, you're across ICSE, CBSE, and the state boards. When it comes to ICSE and CBSE, it's the same across. But when it comes to state board, I mean, every state board is different. So
So
just
before new education policy, sir, every state had its own curriculum.
right,
Like for if Karnataka, we had to make separate books. For Telangana, we had to make separate books. Likewise, Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or any state. So for publishers, it was becoming a very big task because cost of creation of different products for different states was cost of creation was very high, and
right,
cost of production also was very high because we were not printing the same book in bulk. We were printing as per state specific, our business specific, and also population of that region.
right.
But post new education policy, what has happened is government has made it mandatory from Kashmir to Kanyakumari use a single curriculum, and they've given the guidelines and framework for that particular curriculum. Now, after that, our R&D team is instead of developing multiple curriculums for multiple states, we are developing one curriculum which could be sold across the country.
Okay.
Okay, so now the cost of creation has come down that way, and cost of production also came down because now we are printing this particular product in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
So the cost of production also came down. So
Okay.
this, and here also still there is another intricacy. One, this curriculum from north to south, state board has a curriculum right now. CBSE also has a higher standard curriculum, and ICC has much more higher standard.
Right.
So before there were three curriculums with different curriculums for the state. Now there are only three standard curriculums across the country.
So that's standardize the whole thing more or less for you.
Yes, sir.
And this is the situation with all the publishers, or this is
No, so what happens is because of this situation, many publishers were not getting out of their state. They were
okay.
happy operating only in their space of their state or one or two states nearby
Right.
because instead of creating so many products and moving ahead, it was very difficult. So like that was
Absolutely.
also a reason for us why we stuck only to south for a very long time. because we had products made for the south regions. We were happy with stocking it, and whatever we made got consumed. So then,
Right.
why if I enter into another state, I should be, do a lot of research before creating the product.
But do you think that this is also increased competition because those who are possibly there in other states and not coming south may also start looking at south now?
Yes, they will say that competition
Right.
also will increase. But the thing is, people playing it at a very large scale, like who are doing more than 50 crores or 100 crores turnover, number of players there are very less.
Okay.
And statewide players are more.
So if I ask you for your pecking order, I'm not too sure as to how many players are there in this space of K10. Uh,
Pan India, there'll be around 500 players.
500 players,
Yes.
and where do you see yourself right now?
Um, in terms of turnover, we'll be among the top 30 players.
Top 30 players. Okay,
Yes.
that's great.
And in terms of region also, because now we are covering more than 10 to 12 states. So
Right.
this spread is not there for a lot of publishers.
So you're saying top 30 all India.
Yes.
And if I talk about possibly just two or
South.
three of your major states,
Oh, in the south, we'll be among the top 10 publishers.
top 10.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice.
And if you talk about only my state, the Telugu states, Andhra, Telangana, will be among the top 5 publishers.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And see, I mean, you're not only providing printed books, but the complete ecosystem, which I suppose is called vStudy.
Yes, so we studies our educational suite,
Yes,
which we go install in the school's hardware.
absolutely. So that provides students complete animated videos and presenter-led content. And I think on the other hand, it provides the teachers with the digital aid with analytics.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you can just elaborate a bit on this and tell me that once an educational institute implements this, I mean, is it difficult for them to move out? In the sense, they become your sticky customers because moving out would again mean retraining everyone, right, from teachers to students on how to use the new platform.
Yes, sir. So the thing is actually, this particular technology was introduced to schools by publishers from very before long time. Because if you notice, every textbook used to have a CD behind it a couple of years back, like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
This CD almost had all the animations or all the required softwares to run the hardware in the schools. But what happened is, unfortunately, we guys never took credit for it. So
Mm-hmm.
we were always treated like a traditional publisher who was making only textbook. But
Right.
later on, after Corona, after COVID, we realized a lot of edtech players have come into this market and started promoting themselves like they are providing the technology or this is the first technology coming book. But that was not true.
Mm-hmm.
Technology was always provided to publishers, and publishers always wanted technology because of that major reason that school will get used addicted to our platform, and we continue to get our textbook orders on a regular basis.
Right.
That was a strategy behind it. So now what has happened? Instead of that CD, we all have moved to applications. Like you can download our app from Android or iOS. And schools, we have a suite where we completely dump the software in the schools of hardwares. Now with that, what has happened is definitely instead of just being one subject publisher, now schools started adopting a couple of more subjects from ours.
Mm-hmm.
So because they can use a single software for, like, for example, if I'm using mathematics mine, I'm giving you certain software, and science some other publisher is providing, they also have their own software. So
Right.
instead of using multiple softwares, if you develop the software to that high level of, in high graded best quality of software, automatically the main four subjects are coming to that publisher.
Absolutely.
So that was an advantage for us.
Yeah.
And the reason how we are different from any edtech player is every edtech player is not into publishing of textbooks. They've just created the software and trying to sell this software to the schools.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did is any which ways we were incurring huge amount of cost on CD writing or creating that animation. That was happening from day one. So when we created this whole tech platform, we now every publisher set up a tech team inside their office and
Right.
created a tech platform, in terms of applications or AI integration in terms of reports and all. In reasonable amount, people of my size have spent close to 3 to 4 crores on building the technology.
Mm-hmm.
And once the technology is built, at least 7 8 years, there's nothing that we have to build again. Only we have to upgrade that technology. So now we all build the technology. Now, how do we recover our money spent on the technology? When we calculate that to the millions of copies we are selling, it's hardly coming to 3 to 4 rupees per book,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the subject. So we all decided to increase the MRPs of the textbook by another 10 rupees and provide the technology for free
Okay.
to schools. So whoever is prescribing our textbook is getting the technology for free. That is an advantage for the school.
There is no annuity income which you get out of technology.
So, like I said, when we increase the 10 rupees on the textbook, so we're recovering that cost there.
Okay. Okay.
Now textbooks are moving more because technology is free. More subjects of our company are getting adopted inside the school. And
Mhm.
tomorrow, if any edtech player or any edtech company is coming and offering to sell technology to school, school itself is telling now that so and so Dachepalli or so and so Macmillan is trying to give the technology for free.
They give
We
it free.
don't see any point in buying it.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
so that's how the markets
Uh-huh.
turn now.
And when we talk of technology, today you can't talk about technology without AI, which is the
Yes.
buzzword. So just wanted to understand, I mean, are you looking at applying AI anywhere? You're going ahead
We are
also?
already doing so. The tech team which we built, we have AI experts also. So
Okay.
now we've introduced AI in a very basic format. That is in for terms of reports for teachers. I'll give you a live scenario right now. What has happened now? Recently, let's say a teacher has finished a class or a chapter today. So she pushes the test on mock test to their student applications. So
Right.
students go back home and fill the test in there, like it is like choose the correct answers, true or true, false, fill in the blanks. They solve that test. What our AI tool does it looks at all the answers from all the students. It creates a report on teacher's dashboard saying that yesterday whatever topic you taught, 70% of the students have not understood this topic. Maybe you should come back and revise this topic again today before starting today's class. If
Mm-hmm.
majority of people have understood, of only one sector of people have not understood, it will also give them with their names and roll numbers saying that this is maybe this particularly you have to spend 10 minutes more with them in giving the solution. And in terms of mathematics, now if the people are not performing proper tests, AI itself will generate worksheets for them and pushes to their mails, email IDs. They can
Okay.
download that email and start practicing. It's like a homework. They can practice that additional. So if they are lacking in, let's say, only addition, AI will push only addition topic worksheets. If they're lacking in division and multiplication, they'll put only that particular topic's additional worksheets. So when you practice that, automatically the child's wherever he's lacking in that topic, he'll grow. So we started introducing in that way AI.
So that's really nice. I mean, you're going to the student level and helping the student via AI to resolve the issues they have.
Yeah, so we can't, from a publisher's point of view, we can give a standardized content, and but we don't know how well which student is understanding.
Absolutely.
So if there's a tool like that, if AI can solve that problem for it, might as well just use it. So that is what we've been doing.
Great, great. Now, coming to your accounting policies, I just want to understand, I mean, especially in a year when there's a change in syllabus, there's a decent cost which gets involved in preparing the new set. And at the same time, there could be decent amount of dead inventory in the chain. I mean, do you generally write off the complete cost of the new syllabus in the year of introduction, or whether it's written over a period of time?
Actually, what happens, sir? Now, let's say government, central government, for example, NCRT, want to take out a new social studies textbook
Right.
across the country. So it also not just decision makers inside the department, it also calls in some publishers. Let's say my father, for example, from the south, some other publisher from the east, some other publisher. All of them are also a part of that panel, where
Right.
they put out this idea saying that we want to revise. So that information comes 3 years prior to the release of the textbook.
Okay. Okay. So you have enough lead time.
Yeah, we have enough lead time, and we also pass this information to other publishers saying that in the next coming 3 or 4 years, this particular book is going to change. So please take care of your inventory or stocks and deplete it in the as early as possible. And let's say if there's another year continuing of the textbook, make sure you print lesser quantities. That's how it happens. And the reason why they call us is it's not just because we are a big player in the market. It is because they want to understand everybody's sentiment before taking out a textbook. Local politics, regional issues. So South has some other topics, North will have something else. So keeping all that in mind, you will decide social studies. So like that, every topic has its own challenges. Every subject also has its own challenges. So when we were involved indirectly, we know what is going to change in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Okay. And now when we look at the numbers, I mean, last 3 years have been astonishing. I mean, FY 25, 23, we're talking of a top line of 45 crores. FY 25 half year is 40 crores. So assuming the same run rate for the rest of the year, we are talking of about a 26% CAGR.
Yes, sir.
Your net profit in FY 23 was a mere 47 lakhs. That shot up to 7.6 crores for the half year, September 25. Now, assuming 15 crores for the full year, I mean, you are meeting the P levels of the peer group, 10x to 12x. But then, what explains this major increase in the years leading to the IPO?
I know you would ask me this question, but this will take a little longer answer. I hope you don't mind it.
Oh, that's fine.
So if you see, we've been in the industry for almost 40 years in terms of textbooks, but in the education industry, my family is there almost 100 years. So if you look at our balance sheet from 2011, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, we all had reasonable amount of business with the similar amount of profit percentage for whatever turnover we have done.
Okay.
But what has happened in 2020 when Corona hit us, 2020, 21, 21, 22, these 2 years, because of two waves of Corona, schools were closed. So how much ever technology we have or how much ever printed stock is already ready in the godown for the coming academic year, schools were closed, no stock, nothing was stored. So every publisher of my size easily took a hit of 15 to 20 crores.
Okay.
And because we had our employees working with us for almost 30 to 40 years, we decided we'll not even remove one employee. For whatever amount of loss, we have to take it. And in 22, 23, when the business picked up again, so that particular losses backlog come pushed to 23 and 24 balance sheets also. So
Okay.
that is why the profits were less in that particular years. After that, what happened, how my business grew and how my profits grew, there are two reasons. My business grew because my customers came back to me. Second, and small publishers who were doing that 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore turnover, they couldn't sustain this loss.
It shut
So
down.
they
Huh?
exited the industry.
Right.
Then schools also understood that we should stick to branded publishers or the trusted players for a very long time. So I've also got some amount of business from where there were small players who were lacking. Point one. Second advantage was the new education policy which was introduced. Prior to new education policy, we were making different textbooks for different states. So cost of creation was very high.
Right.
Now, after 2020, the new education policy got introduced. The latest curriculum came only in 2022 and 23.
Right.
Then but we publishers knew it from before that this is going to happen. So we started developing that new curriculum which could be sold across the country. So the cost of creation has come down. Instead of printing small quantities for every state, now we are printing bulk quantities which could be sold across the country. Cost of production also came down. And in 2021, the paper price was around 150 rupees per kilo. Today, I purchase paper at 70 rupees per kilo. So paper cost has also come down by 50%. The reason paper price has come down for 50% is usage of paper is now only limited to textbooks.
Right.
Magazines has gone online, and packaging has moved to corrugated.
Yeah.
And tissue paper is now not a very big culture in India.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So only textbooks. So they've also understood that we should not inflate the prices anymore. They have done a price correction. And what paper industries did, because they knew that they will also face a hit during Corona, they inflated the prices to 150 rupees per kilo.
Right. Right.
Helpless situation, we bought it. But then now I understand demand for paper is coming down, and international paper also started coming in as an import at a very cheaper price than domestic mills.
If you take it as a percentage, what is the value of paper input?
70% of my raw material is paper.
70% of the raw material is paper. That's the 70% of your cost is paper.
Yeah, 90%. Yeah, most of the cost is paper.
Right.
So when international paper also from Indonesia, Thailand, Bangkok, it's all started coming to India. They were even cheaper than domestic mills. So automatically they have done their price correction and came down to 70 rupees or 65 rupees or 75 rupees, depending on the quality and GSM of the paper.
Right.
That was one reason costings come down.
And now that's stable.
And another thing, sorry, I didn't finish. I hope
now it is stable.
Now it is stable. Now it's stable, but there's another advantage.
No, Harish, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry?
I think you're on mute if I'm not wrong.
Can you not hear me? Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, can I continue, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so now paper prices have stabilized. And there's another advantage, central government has now decided to remove GST on educational products, that is textbooks and notebooks. So going forward, I am going to get another 10 to 15% relaxation, the GST component amount on my raw material purchases.
Right.
So going forward, I am anticipating more profits than what I'm making. And how business grow. Like this year, why you are asking by September only you achieve 40 crores, that's true. Because after COVID, and when we know that only one product could be sold across the country, we've also rapidly appointed people across the country. Instead of doing one state at a time, now we are targeting 4 or 5 states at a time. So manpower increased, sales started coming, and business is also growing now. And now that we know that will come IPO in the next 1 or 2 years, what we did is usually any publishers will have around the number of SKUs. Our number of SKUs was 600 plus. So and I need another 300 more SKUs to make it a 900. If you have 900 SKUs, you have the complete basket for school education.
Okay.
So we started getting the new SKUs also. Their sales also started generating. So these are all the reasons.
So when do you expect 900 SKUs?
Uh, by this year and next year, I think most of the SKUs will be done.
By FY27, we can expect.
Yeah. So when everything else is working in my favor, it is only reasonable that I should take advantage of the situation with an IPO and go ahead.
Yeah, but
Then
then
what kind of a businessman am I if I'm not taking advantage of this situation?
absolutely true.
So
And,
that's exactly why I decided to come IPO.
and along with this increase in revenues, your trade receivables also have shot up very high. I mean, for FY25, what I see is it's equivalent to close to 1 year's revenue. Your
Yes.
inventory too is quite high. Because when you talk of consumers, they are basically schools and book distributors, if I'm not wrong. Because you're not selling directly to the students, right? It is via schools and book distributors.
Yes. Yeah. So what happens here is, sir, see, I know it is a seasonal in nature business. So the reason why our receivables look high is because we have, like, for example, for the coming June 15th is, let's say June 15th is a reopening academic year for 2026.
Right,
For the June 15th reopening of academic year, for Q4 of the 2025, we get orders from CBSE schools. That is October, November, December,
right.
right? And January, February, March, we get orders from certain states like Northeast and ICSE schools.
Okay.
From April, May, June, we get orders from state board schools of all the South, since we were concentrating majorly on South.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, indirectly for the June 2026 reopening, I have business 2 quarters of that particular financial year and 1 quarter from the previous financial year.
Right.
And the reason also I'll tell you, because let's say my product is right now present in 10,000 schools.
Hmm.
I cannot dispatch 10,000 schools worth of orders in 15 to 20 days. I
Right.
need at least 3 to 4 months of time.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise, now, for example, out these 10,000 schools, out of which every distributor must be holding 300 or 500 schools according to his capacity. And
Right.
this distributor is also procuring material from multiple publishers like me. This
Mm-hmm.
distributor is also procuring material from multiple notebook vendors and multiple stationery vendors. So
Yes.
whenever he is supplying to one school, he has to create that basket for textbooks, notebooks, and stationery for for one particular school. And
Mm-hmm.
school, after receiving the material, they have to make class-wise sets, and then that will go to the parents. That the parents will come on their own piece free time and buy in this course. So I will take couple of months. Distributor will take couple of months in arranging all these from multiple publishers and multiple vendors across the country. And school also is taking some time to prepare sets and sell. Okay,
Okay.
so
So it
5 6 years back, what used to happen? All these business used to happen on delivery channels.
okay.
So we used to first sell off the stock on delivery channels, and exactly on June 14th or 15th, we used to rate all the 10,000 invoices. So when I
Okay.
raise all 10,000 invoices on June 15th, from reopening of schools, within 60 to 90 days, my payments are recovered. So
Right.
in my balance sheet, it used to look like, oh, 90 days, he's getting all his payments, he's a very good customer. But now
Mm-hmm.
what has happened? Nobody in India can do business on delivery channels. Why?
Yeah.
Because taxing issues are there, and then transport companies are not accepting stock without an invoice, and there is
Absolutely.
complete GST audit on the roads. Like, even if one lorry or a goods vehicle is gone on any highway or any road, they are stopping it, checking whether the stock and invoice are matching. So it has
Absolutely.
become even more difficult for us. And also there was another issue that sometimes we were losing delivery channels, and if we forget to invoice that particular delivery channel, we're losing that business only from that customer. So
Mm-hmm.
why to have into a non-structured way of business? Instead, let make it structured business. Whenever the stock is leaving my warehouse, we are invoicing it.
So,
So even though invoice occurred are two different things. If invoice is raised on Q4 of 2025, this invoice actually occurred on June 15th when school is reopening on 2026.
absolutely.
So, but according to financial records, it is showing that 300 days or 400 days of receivables. But for me, it is actually my sale will only begin as per academic cycle, not financial cycle. That
Fine.
is the difference, sir.
I do understand. I mean, basically, your inventory shifting from your go down to the school go down.
Distributors go down and then schools go down.
School go down. Yeah.
Yeah,
The actual sale is happening possibly on June 15th, like you rightly said.
exactly.
So I mean, even going ahead, clearly, we don't expect this to change. So this is the
This will not change. This has not changed in the last 30 years. It will not change in the
it
next 30
not
years.
change. I mean, good.
And you will face a similar issue like this in granules industry also.
Right.
Yeah. Mm.
And I mean, this business is not seasonal anymore. Since you're
Yes, sir.
since you're there across India, like you said, I mean, ICSE and CBSE start sometime in October. state boards are sometime in June. So every quarter you'll get enough business, except possibly the monsoons.
Yeah, so monsoons academic year is also different. They don't start in June, like
Right.
Chirapunji or some areas, northeast areas especially. Their school starts much before than June.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we have to prepare for that also. And there's one quarter where we don't do business at all. That quarter usually goes in getting payments from the market. So
Mhm.
that's how the business has been so far. But now slowly we are also out of the 300 new SKUs, we are introducing holiday homeworks, additional worksheets for children, which will generate business in that quarter. It has nothing to do with the reopening of the schools.
Okay. Okay.
So this is that basket of 900 SKUs which I was talking.
That way it's good that I mean your business is across the year.
Yes, but yeah, but since textbook is the major consumption, that is still seasonal.
Mhm.
The in the non-peak areas, we are creating new products so that we'll have some revenue at that point of
Okay. I mean, I'll come back later for those new
time.
products to understand those. And
And I think you asked about the inventory levels.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so just like I said, from October to December, if I have to do supply to CBSE schools, I should make sure that my inventory should be ready for the full year by September 30th in my warehouse.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So when inventory, there's high inventory obviously before season begins. So it is an intentional storage. It is not like these items are not selling or not fast moving. On
Right.
purpose, we are storing that inventory like that so that we are ready for the coming season. And during season, what happens is even though my book gets prescribed in the school, and if I'm not able to timely deliver it, they are also in pressure to change the textbook because they
Yeah.
have to provide the set to the students. And
Mhm.
without textbook, they can't start academic year.
Right.
So we have to maintain that inventory to match up to our
I
demands.
mean, if you're not able to supply, they may go to someone else.
Correct.
Right.
Simple.
And see, the other thing I would like to ask is generally, see, investors prefer to look at companies with lower customer concentration risk. Now, I noticed that your top 10 customer concentration has gone up from 17% in FY23 to about 45% in September 2025. I mean, why is it so?
So
When
the reason is it's because you're looking at a September figure. By the time if you look at the March 25th by 26th figure,
okay,
it'll average down to 20%.
okay, fine, fine. Because I mean, half your customers are not
Correct.
the first half of the year.
They are not placed orders yet, so
That's
that's
fine. That's
and
fine.
the people who placed orders, they are half of previous year's orders, and the new orders half also has come. So it
Right.
is technically looking like 40% of business is coming to from top 10 customers. But if you see March 2026 figures, it'll come down to 20-23%.
Fine, fine. I understand that. Thanks. And again, now coming
And
to
actually, it has been very difficult for me to convince so many investors to how academic cycle and financial cycle are two different things in our industry. So
yeah,
when
like
somebody looks at my balance sheet, they'll think, "Oh, what is happening?" But after speaking to the promoter, I think some people have realized that, "Oh yeah, this guy is making sense."
absolutely, because see, I
Uh,
mean, every industry is unique,
yes,
and
true,
you can't paint all of them with the same brush. So one of the main reasons why we are discussing today, so that people get a much better understanding of your company.
true, sir.
Now, you're saying your current capacity utilization is just about 40%. And at the same time, I also see that 15% of your sales are outsourced from other printers, which may actually mean that either you don't have the technology for that amount of sales which you do, or at that point of time, your capacity utilization during that period is more than 100%, because
Yes.
of which you need to outsource. Again, coming from the point of view that, I mean, part of the work is seasonal, so at times you have that 100% capacity
Yes.
utilization.
Yeah.
So,
So, on the
yeah,
financial front, I've explained you what is happening. Now, practically, I'll explain you in the production front also.
right.
Similar logic is applied here, sir, but I'll tell you in detail. In printing industry, it is a standard practice that 22 hours when the machine is running, it is 100% capacity.
Right.
Right? This is standard practice in any printing. You can speak to any printer in India, he'll give you this answer.
22
So,
hours per day.
22 hours per day.
Right.
So, when you call 100% utilization of machine,
Yeah.
okay, let it be a newspaper printer or a
Perfect.
textbook printer or anybody for that matter. Now, let me tell you one thing that for 2 quarters in a year, my machines are printing at
Okay.
90% capacity. Non-seasonal times when I keep the stock ready for the coming academic year. So they are at 90% capacity.
So which is
Okay.
20 hours approximately.
Almost 20 hours. Very good. 20 hours on both the machines or on 3 or 4 machines, how many machines, binding equipment and other machines. Now, this is what is happening. And the reason why I have additional machinery is, let's just say if something goes wrong in my peak seasons, even there's a small repair or repair,
Yeah.
my production gets on halt.
Right.
So then I have to have additional machinery. Now, as a publisher, if I calculate, if I have to spread my production across the year, I'll have to invest early on the raw material to divert that work in my non-seasonal years. So
Right.
buying additional machinery is cheaper than pushing that by buying raw material to push in a non-utilized unseasonal days is way more expensive. So let's say if one quarter my machines are not running, it is not affecting me only. But if I purchase raw material early just to make sure that 3 months my machine is running, the cost of raw material or the interest I'm losing is a lot more higher. It makes more sense for me to just before the peak season starts, the 3 or 6 months, I finish my complete production. So my raw material cost or interest cost lies in its favor. That is
Right.
one reason. And one more thing, what everybody should understand is printing is not our main business.
Hmm.
Publishing is our main business. What is publishing? Manufacture school textbook and go and sell this textbook in the schools. So this is our main business. 7 years back, what we used to 99% of our production was outsourced. So what we noticed is we are not getting timely delivery of our product before peak seasons where we are losing our orders.
Yeah.
Second, quality of the product is also being compromised because of the third party printers. They might not be using better paper or in terms of quality or registration of the ink and other things. There were so many technical issues which we were
Absolutely.
not satisfied even after paying the price. So me and my brother, we decided, why don't we do backward integration first? So we went ahead, we did a backward integration. We set up the whole premises around 75,000 square feet of plant and machinery. We built we purchased all the machines. We set up the whole plant. Now, by setting up this whole plant, 9% of 85% of our production during the seasons has come to
Right.
not able to produce in our peak times. So we are passing
Absolutely.
it over outside depending on which production cannot be taken on our machine or it is any delay in our production.
Yeah.
Sometimes some wear and tear or some service issues comes. That
Yeah.
15% it is going outside. And let's say the amount of the expenditure I am spending, just to give on a layman terms, I'm telling you, the salaries I am paying for my printing industry is almost 5 to 6 lakhs per month. Into 12 months is around 60 to 70
Okay.
lakhs. By selling the scrap, I am getting 70 lakhs. So forget the margins on the printing. It's more than 40% in printing margins, which nobody will accept. But I'm telling you on a call directly, which you can relate across the country. I don't mind. So
Yeah.
now people are always questioning about my idle capacity. And also this 20 hours work in the 2 quarters,
Uh-huh.
if I divide that business across the year, it is coming 40% utilization capacity.
Now, tell me, what is the peak utilization one can do practically in this business? Can you go up to 50%?
No, we can go up to 80-90% if we take up some government orders and tenders.
Uh,
If you're just trying to run the printing press, we can go up to 80-90% of production across the year. But for that, we have to get out of our business and get into government tenders and other printing, commercial printing activities, which we are not interested to do because we are very busy with our work.
because that's a different ball game,
Yes.
and margins are different out there.
Yes.
No, I'm talking of a current business. Whatever you're doing right now, how much more of capacity utilization is practically possible? After which we should say that, okay, if we need to increase the revenue beyond this, we need to go in for capex.
Sir, right now, my machines, even if considering off season and peak season at a time, these machines, where we invested our own money on these machines, up to 200 crores of turnover, this existing machinery is enough, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, is enough. We don't have to buy any machinery. And yes, beyond that, when my turnover goes to 250-300 crores, I myself will invest on more machinery because I
Right.
have my own space, land, everything is there.
And you would also have the cash flows. So
Yes, I have the cash flow. So I'll buy that additional machinery. And when I buy that additional machinery, if you average that production across the year, it'll still come to 40 to 50%.
right.
Because I'm going to take the production only on the peak time to save my interest cost or money, raw material cost on unseasonal time. I don't need to invest in raw material on unseasonal time.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, in fact, now I want to come back and ask you as to what are those new products which you're talking of, which you'll be utilizing your idle capacity with.
Yeah. So now what has happened is we don't have NCERT workbooks. We were only been on the main textbook business. We don't have NCERT workbooks. We don't have state-wise workbooks. We don't have holiday books, homework books for children. We don't have worksheets also for children, which could be sold across the year through the same school channel. These are all the products which I'm going to introduce. So then I will start getting revenue even in my off seasons.
And these have a much higher margin than your regular textbooks?
No, they are actually lesser margins than my regular textbooks, but they get sold in a period where there is no sale. So then you have an all-round your business and revenue keeps flowing across the year, right? So that is the only reason. What books I am selling right now are at their highest margin. Yeah. But apart from this, we started another vertical also recently because now we have a complete tech system, technology platform, tech team inside the office. This tech team has not just helped us create technology for education, but they've also helped us create technology for other things like inventory management, CRM, HRM, complete finance accounting, payment follow for customers, sales team management. So they've helped us create different apps for complete. So it is not just a traditional publishing company. We've also corporatized this and a lot more things. This same tech team, the same.
That will make you more efficient, I
I'm
suppose.
sorry.
That will make you more efficient.
Yes, yes. So it has helped us become more efficient. In fact, I suggest everybody should have a small time tech time inside their company because a lot of efficiencies will come in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now what has happened? The same tech team has a special link. And in that, schools forward that link to the parents. Instead of coming to the school and purchasing that educational material, they can just go and from the online they can pick all the materials from textbooks to notebooks to.
Okay.
They all get packed with us.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so
and with that, you would also be receiving the payment immediately.
Then that is one way. So now what has happened? Now usually my textbook percentage of my textbook in any school is around 20%. Like they were using 2 or 3 series from my company. Because I have a lot more interaction with schools on this. Now 50% of my textbooks are coming inside school in the e-commerce vertical.
Better because you're cutting out any of the middlemen?
No, I'm getting more business from the existing school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will obviously help my margins.
Okay. Okay.
So my marketing team do not have to, like, let's say if my marketing team is working on 100 schools with promotional activities,
Right.
with just 20% of hit rate inside a school, they'll have to work on 200 schools. Now, when I'm getting 50% business from the existing schools, so we are not spending more on that marketing also. Or we are hiring new people for new team. Then altogether a new revenue stream is building. In this team, what has happened? We become traders for notebooks and stationery also. Indirectly, we are procuring that material and we are selling. So there's some other stream of revenue is also coming into the business. These same schools are asking if you have already introduced the e-commerce vertical, please introduce a uniform vertical also. So then what we did, we created a uniform technology. This year we are going to do pilot project in 3 to 4 schools. We want to understand the challenges in that uniform, what all it is. Going forward, if we are able to mitigate all those problems, we'll scale up that particular business also. So now what the technology, how we built is also very fascinating. What happened is we created a technology where from the company in-house tailor goes to the school. And usually when you buy uniform or educational material in school, it is during summer holidays. So all the classrooms are empty. Schools are actually allowing us to use this classroom where we are building a kiosk inside for girls and boys, different sizes of uniform inside. From the company, the tailor goes to the school. He has an iPad with the software installed from which are built in the company. Everybody comes there, gets a trial run done on both their uniforms. In case somebody is falling in between small or medium or small or extra small, because we are sending the tailor only from the company, he'll then and there take the measurements, update in the application. Parents get a code on their phone. You go to the e-commerce portal where you are buying the notebooks and textbooks. Add this code. Automatically, your measurements are bounded to your order. And when we get order in the backend from the admin team in our office, if it is a pre-stitched, we are putting that pre-stitch inside the box and sending it home. If not, our tailors are making the alterations, putting in the box and couriering it home.
Oh, this is very, very interesting. I think that this also will be a decently large business. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I see.
So for some reason, I felt everything is working in my favor in the last 2 years. Let me take advantage of this, scale up as much as I can. And so I'll be heading the textbook business, which right now we are placed in 10,000 schools. My target is to do 25,000 schools in 28 states and 8 union territories in the next 3 years.
25,000?
Yes. That is a textbook business, which I'll take care personally, which I monitor. And out of these 25,000 schools, we'll identify such good schools where we'll pass these leads to our other verticals of uniform or e-commerce. They will go and convince the school and get the orders for those particular products.
And I suppose all these verticals will be on the listed entity.
We have only one entity.
Yes.
Everything will route through one entity. Obviously, we'll route it through a listed entity because the share price also will increase.
Okay, Harish, thanks for answering all my questions. And very honestly.
But I'm sorry, I take a very elaborate way of answering questions. It is only coming out of experience.
It is always better to be elaborate so that people understand it better. Because most of the people watching this are lay investors. So the more elaborate you are, the understanding is better. So I just hope watching this interview helps the investors to take the right decision about subscribing to your IPO, and wishing you the best on the road ahead.
Thank you, sir.
I would just say that listing is just the first step in the long journey. And I hope you'll continue communicating with your investors and market participants and keep them updated of what's happening. I think you're looking at exciting times.
Yeah.
And
frankly speaking, I'm 38 years old, and in my industry, there's hardly anybody of my generation. All my competitors' children are all, preferring a software job or some, going abroad. So this has become, I'm so happy to play around, all the risks and pivots around. Looking at me, everybody else is saying, you should also come and join business for their children.
So wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And thank you for doing an interview on us today. I hope I give a better clarity to all the investors coming forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.